All right, getting ready for a Construction General Supervisor interview.
Smart move coming here first.
You know it. We're diving into RoleCatcher's career and interview guides today.
Yeah, gonna arm you with some killer answers.
Absolutely. Give you some insider tips.
It's like having a secret weapon.
Exactly. Think of it like this. They're looking for someone who can not only handle the job, but really impress everyone.
Make a statement.
Yes. First up, that classic opener. What motivated you to pursue this career?
Oh, it's more than just saying I like building things.
Right.
RoleCatcher really emphasizes showcasing your why, but connecting it back to your skills.
Okay, so give me an example.
So did a childhood project spark your love for problem solving?
Ooh, I like that. So instead of just saying, I've always been fascinated by construction, you can say, ever since I helped my grandpa build a treehouse, I was hooked on the challenge of taking a plan and making it a reality.
Exactly. And weave in those skills, organization, teamwork, maybe even a bit of early budgeting with those 2x4s.
Okay, so we nailed the why. Now, let's talk project management. The RoleCatcher Guide flags this as a must-have for Construction General Supervisors. What kind of questions should our listener be ready for?
Expect something like, walk me through your process for planning and organizing a construction project.
Okay.
Don't get lost in jargon. RoleCatcher's AI can actually help you tailor your answers to the specific company and role.
Oh, cool.
It analyzes keywords in the job description to help you, really hit the mark.
So it's like having a personalized cheat sheet for each interview.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's not about just, regurgitating what the AI says.
Right.
Use it as a springboard to talk about your process. Do you use Gantt charts? Lean on project management software? Mention those, but then bring it to life with an example.
Right. So instead of just saying, I create a timeline and delegate tasks, you could say, I'm a big fan of using Gantt charts to visualize the project timeline. On my last project, we had a last-minute change in delivery schedules for some key materials.
And using the Gantt chart, I was able to quickly identify the potential bottlenecks, adjust the schedule, and minimize the delay. We even finished ahead of the revised deadline. Mic drop.
That's how you turn a generic answer into a memorable story. Now let's move on to another critical area, safety.
Big one.
Huge. It's not just a box to tick, it's the backbone of every successful construction project.
Absolutely. And the RoleCatcher Interview Guide stresses that you need to go beyond just mentioning OSHA regulations.
Yeah.
They want to see you're a safety champion.
Oh, for sure.
Think about questions like, tell me about a time you identified a potential safety hazard on a job site. What did you do?
Ooh, this is where those real-life examples are golden. Have you ever had to hit the metaphorical pause button on a project because of a safety concern?
100%.
Those stories show you're not afraid to prioritize safety over deadlines.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to get specific. If you implemented a new safety protocol that reduced accidents, shout it from the rooftops. Or if you noticed a teammate not wearing their safety glasses.
You didn't just walk by, you addressed it. Because even small actions can have a huge impact on creating a safety-first culture. Okay, we've covered why construction, project management, and safety. What's next on our interview prep checklist?
Let's talk conflict resolution.
Ooh, good one.
Construction sites can get a little tense. The RoleCatcher Guide emphasizes the importance of clear communication and a calm demeanor when navigating disagreements.
Because, let's face it, not every day is smooth sailing on a construction site. So when they inevitably ask, how do you handle conflict resolution on a project, we need to equip our listener with a stellar answer.
Right. They need to show they can be a mediator, not a dictator. The guide suggests using the STAR method: situation, task, action, result.
Love that framework. So instead of just saying, I'm a good listener, you could describe a specific conflict on a past project.
Outline your role and the task at hand, explain the actions you took to resolve it, and then, most importantly, highlight the positive result. Did the conflicting parties come to an agreement? Did the project stay on schedule because of your mediation?
Those specific details make all the difference. Okay, we're on a roll. What other essential questions should our listener be ready for?
Well, construction projects live and die by the budget, so be prepared to talk numbers.
Time to talk dollars and cents. What kind of budget questions should our listener be prepared for?
They might ask, how do you manage project budgets? Or describe your experience with cost control on a construction project.
Okay, yeah. This is where those spreadsheet skills come in handy.
Yeah.
But it's not just about crunching numbers, right?
Exactly.
It's about showing you understand the bigger picture, that financial picture.
Yes. The RoleCatcher Guide suggests highlighting your ability to create a realistic budget, track expenses, and make adjustments as needed.
And those adjustments are key. Because let's be real, how often do construction projects go exactly according to plan?
Yeah, very rarely.
Never.
So instead of just saying, I'm good at sticking to a budget, you could say, on a recent project, we had some unexpected site conditions that required additional excavation work. I was able to quickly analyze the impact on the budget, present a revised cost estimate to the client, and get their approval before proceeding.
Nice, nice. That shows you can handle those curveballs, make those tough financial decisions.
For sure.
Now, budgets aren't the only thing a construction general supervisor needs to manage. Let's talk about those other key players, the subcontractors and vendors.
Ah, yes, the art of managing those relationships.
Right.
Expect questions like, how do you ensure subcontractors adhere to project timelines? Or describe your process for selecting and working with vendors.
It's like being a conductor, making sure everyone is playing in sync to create that beautiful symphony of a finished project.
Love that analogy. And just like a conductor needs to communicate clearly with each musician, a construction general supervisor needs to establish those open lines of communication with subcontractors and vendors.
So instead of just saying, I'm a good communicator, our listener can say something like, I believe in setting clear expectations up front. At the start of every project, I hold a kickoff meeting with all subcontractors to review the project timeline, safety protocols, and communication channels. I also make it clear that I have an open-door policy.
And then I'm always available to answer questions or address concerns. This proactive approach has helped me build strong relationships with subcontractors and minimize potential delays or misunderstandings.
Minimize those misunderstandings. I like it. Now, speaking of minimizing misunderstandings, let's talk quality control.
The best.
Because when it comes to construction, precision is everything.
Absolutely. The RoleCatcher Guide emphasizes that construction general supervisors are responsible for ensuring that every aspect of the project meets the required standards.
Okay, so what kind of questions should our listener be ready for on this topic?
Expect questions like, how do you ensure quality control on a construction site? Or describe your process for inspecting work and addressing defects.
This is where that meticulous attention to detail comes in handy. It's about having those eagle eyes and spotting those tiny imperfections before they become major headaches.
Right. And the RoleCatcher AI can be incredibly helpful here, too. It can analyze sample answers from successful construction general supervisors and provide feedback on your own responses, helping you refine your language and highlight those key skills.
So it's like having a virtual interview coach in your pocket.
Yeah.
But it's not just about using fancy words. It's about showcasing those real-life experiences.
Exactly. Instead of just saying, I'm a perfectionist, you could say, on a recent project, I noticed a discrepancy between the architectural drawings and the actual installation of some interior walls. I immediately brought it to the attention of the subcontractor, and we worked together to correct the issue before it caused any significant delays or rework.
Nice. That shows you're not afraid to speak up and ensure that everything is built to the highest standards. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground. Project management, safety, conflict resolution, budgets, subcontractors, and quality control. What else is on our interview prep checklist?
We can't forget about the importance of staying up to date on local regulations and building codes.
Ah, yes, those ever-changing rules and regulations that govern the construction world. How can our listener impress the interviewers in this area?
They should be prepared to answer questions like, how do you stay informed about changes in building codes? Or describe a time you had to adapt a project plan due to new regulations.
It's like being fluent in construction legalese.
Exactly. And the RoleCatcher Guide emphasizes the importance of demonstrating a proactive approach to compliance. So instead of just saying, I'm familiar with building codes, our listener could say something like, I make it a priority to attend industry conferences and workshops to stay abreast of the latest changes in building codes. For example, I recently attended a seminar on the new energy efficiency requirements for commercial buildings.
And I was able to apply those insights to my current project, ensuring that we were in full compliance with the latest regulations.
Now you're talking. That shows you're not just following the rules, you're actively seeking out knowledge to ensure your projects are always up to code.
It's like being one step ahead of the game. Speaking of being ahead of the game, what's our final piece of advice for acing that construction general supervisor interview? It's all about communication.
Right. You nailed it. That's a theme woven throughout all of RoleCatcher's insights.
Okay.
Whether it's about safety, budgets, or even those, minor on-site hookups, how you convey information is key.
So what kind of curveball questions will test this in an interview?
Think. Describe a time you had to communicate a project delay to a difficult client. Or how do you keep your team informed about project changes?
Okay.
Things like that.
This is where, like, having a system shines, right? But
Yeah.
instead of just saying, I'm good at explaining things, our listener could talk about using project management software.
Right. Maybe they generate like weekly progress reports
Right.
or use it to flag potential issues early on so everyone's in the loop.
It's about showing you're proactive, not just reactive.
Yeah.
And that you can tailor your communication style to different audiences, from subcontractors to CEOs.
Exactly. Now, before we wrap up, let's touch on one more thing the RoleCatcher Career Guide emphasizes. Continuous learning.
Yes.
The construction world is constantly evolving.
Oh, absolutely. New materials, regulations, sustainability practices, it's a lot to keep up with.
It is, which is why interviewers love to hear about how you stay ahead of the curve.
So dropping that professional development course you took or that industry conference you attended, those are good things to mention.
Totally. It shows you're invested in your career growth, dedicated to bringing the latest knowledge to the job.
It's like that saying, the best way to predict the future is to create it.
I like that. And with that, I think we've given our listener a solid foundation for acing that Construction General Supervisor interview.
Yes. We've covered everything from those motivational why construction questions to navigating real-world scenarios on the job site, all while, like, weaving in those golden nuggets from RoleCatcher.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Remember, preparation is key. Use the AI tools to tailor your answers, practice those STAR method stories, and don't be afraid to let your passion shine through.
Because at the end of the day, they're not just looking for someone who can do the job. They're looking for someone who's excited to, like, build an amazing career.
Well said. To our listener out there, best of luck with your interview. We're confident you're going to knock it out of the park.
And remember, we're here to support you every step of the way. Until next time, on The Deep Dive.